What is going on, Wenger Morghulians? We, as admins, are back for the 2022-2023 season in our favorite jerseys of all time.
From the glory
I'm
days.
from the glory days, which we hope we reach both personally and from a team standpoint. Currently, neither of us are doing very well. Yuri had kind of the season of your life,
Yeah.
but
We still fit into these jerseys, so we are doing okay.
did you? That's probably because you bought an extra large jersey.
It is, it
What,
is. It is
15 years
before
ago?
it's from the 90s where before all this tight fitting shit became a thing.
Actually, Yuri,
And
what
it's
was your
fixed.
first jersey, and how
This
did
is
you get it?
this is my first ever jersey. My uncle was going to Dubai and we told him to get jersey. So me, my brother, and this is I think a 97 or 98. And then he went to Dubai and he brought us back these three fake ass jerseys. But those are very much my first and I still have it. Actually I discovered it in Pune when I went back in December and now I pulled it out of storage.
And it still fits. There's no mold on it.
Yeah, indeed.
So I think we've all gone through phases of bad jerseys, and we've discussed this quite a bit on our thread. I think Arsenal right now is about to match where it was back during its Nike days. My absolute favorite jersey, which I didn't wear right now, it's in the wash, is the O2
Dreamcast.
Nike. No, not Dreamcast. I actually like the O2
Dreamcast is
better because
good.
it's got these like nice rounded bevels all across, and plus we obviously won. We were 49 unbeaten that year. But my second favorite jersey is this one, the last year at Highbury, where we narrowly, this was I don't know if you remember, but this was the Lasagna Gate season, where we narrowly pipped Tottenham to make it to fourth. So
Wow.
wish that happened
How
last year.
inspiring.
Very
Coming forth.
inspiring. Coming forth, well, I mean, aren't we both trying to
Yeah,
get our
now we
teams?
now we are
we
now
are
we
in that
will be happy
era.
with fourth. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I would take fourth any day. But forget introductions. You're the co-admin. I'm the co-admin. I'm kind of
Yeah.
the boss. And thanks for graciously giving me the adminship this year. That was very kind of you, Yuri. There was a lot of pleading, a lot of begging from my end. Obviously, you made me go to the Arsenal stadium, stand in front of Saka's jersey and where he sits, and make a video to gain back my adminship. Did that? What is it called during the frat parties? Not
The
inauguration.
hazing.
No, no, not hazing. What is it called?
Having
It's called
sex.
no. What?
No. I don't know what exactly. I only know what happens in frat parties from American Pie or something. I
from
haven't been to actual
Shh.
frat party.
If for
So
all the listeners, I actually did know Yuri during
yeah.
his frat boy days back in Columbia, South Carolina,
Next
where
time I'll wear my football jersey.
where your South Carolina jersey. Yuri was such a frat boy that he used to call me Vikas. Hey Vikas, where are you? Because trying to be very American in front of his American friends and his American dog.
Uh,
Um,
this is the point in which Sham is throwing something at the screen, being like, "Oh, enough with the small talk, guys. Can we talk about some XG and X points and X appearances quickly in a very technical way?" Okay.
I
Fuck
have
you,
no
Sham.
comments. Yeah, and if you all have noticed, this is I think the first time Sham has not been on any of our videos. I think the point is we wanted to keep this very nimble, do a lot.
Sham is very nimble, actually. If you ever play any sport with him, he's extremely nimble. He's
But yeah, like I think we this season's going to be pretty epic, both from an expectation standpoint. Man, you have a phenomenal star cast, manager, elite manager, and Eric Ten Hag joined, but
I
started
really
his
like
first.
how all the other like rival fans are trying to get us to get hyped up. I don't know any Man U fan who's actually hyped up. Everybody's like, okay, well, we're probably going to finish fifth or sixth. We have a decent manager. We have the same shitty players. Uh, I'm not hyped.
I don't think you have the same shitty players. I think the players have improved both in form. The manager is clearly elite.
We've got one left back from the Dutch league. We've gotten one 5'9" Argentinian centre back who nobody has seen either of these guys play, so complete X factors. And then we've got a 30-year-old guy coming off a heart surgery. I don't think we are that much better. I mean, in fact, I don't think we are better. We have a better coach.
You're forgetting a really important player that features in my fantasy team. That's almost like a new signing. He's come
Dalo.
from wherever. Well,
Yeah.
actually, Dallo too. I have two Manu players in my fantasy team as of today,
Right.
but and it's likely going to change. But still, like, you have the evergreen Anthony Martial, who's come back from loan. He's going to come back and taunt us
If he
with his.
starts, like I know you have him in your draft, but if you do start him, I will give you, serious street cred for not going with the typical template team that we know that the Shams of the world are going to go with. Go with Martial. Go with your gut. Live a little.
You know, I've been
He's going to
living
be
a
awful
little.
though.
I've been living a little for a while, and now I've lived a little for too long, and I kind of want to win again. Uh,
Do
the,
you?
the
You just
the
won like a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, but 2 years ago is a long time for serial winners like me. It takes a huge toll on your mental state when you don't win something for 2 years, Yuri. Especially
Yeah.
after having won the treble. Speaking
Yeah.
of, how are your motivation levels right now? Obviously,
I
you
think
went
my
into a
team name
grand.
says it all. I'm a mentality lobster. Like my only like aim for this year is to be have that crab slash lobster mentality, is to just pull other people down and make a mockery of them and spoil other people's fun. I have no motivation.
Zero motivation to participate, and that's your
I really
attitude right
wanted.
there.
I think I lost by what 2 points in the final last year, and that was after a very well thought out, crafted, knockout strategy. So yeah, I don't think I will be in the loser playoff. I will go back to where I belong this year.
I don't, well, it's going to be difficult to get into the loser playoffs because just like the market today, we had to lay off
Yeah.
a bunch of people.
Oh God,
Two
there's
to
no
be
Bobby, so there's
precise.
two extra spots in the loser
There are
playoff.
two. So you really don't have to
Funny.
finish bottom eight. But actually, no. I think you still
No,
have to
it's in
finish
fact
bottom.
it's easier
It's
to go into the loser playoff now because two people like Bobby and Bhabkar would have taken up those two spots, and now those two spots are calling for me.
for people that don't know. What is your plan for the early half
Oh
of the
yes, I'm
season?
going to be in California in well, you kind of threw it at me. I don't really have the exact dates. It's I think in September,
September
September
12th until September
12th.
21st.
Yeah, 12 to 21st. So we can have a big official, get to pop up, get together, drinks, match watching, whatever thingy for Wenger Morghulis in San Francisco, where apparently a lot of you people are at earning the big bucks. And so, yeah, I'm coming in and freeloading with you people, partying like, I don't know, coding rock stars, whatever it is that you guys do.
I actually don't.
Oh, hackathon. We should call it a hackathon, right? Is that
Hackathon.
what people in California do?
Yeah, it's hacking
Yeah,
hacking
yeah, I
our
know.
way through systems. But I'm excited for you to finally meet Phil and for both of you to quabble in Europe.
I actually really get along with most of. I'm not the person. I actually agree with most of his opinions. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and stuff about FPL, I think starting from last year, and I've realized that the reason that the Vikases and the Shams do well is because they listen to these podcasts and they basically go with template teams. So they're playing for purity, they go with the crowd, and then once in a while they'll get a differential pick and go up. And it's such a boring way to play FPL, but it seems like it's a smart way to play it. So I expect the usual suspects to be at the top, the Vikases and the Shams, the template teamers.
I actually meant it from a Premier League point of view,
Oh, from a
but
Premier
sure,
League point of view,
FPL.
again, I think similar, right? I mean, very similar. The Vikases and Shams of the Premier League, with the cities and the Liverpools to be in the top. I don't. I think everybody below that, so Chelsea, Tottenham, Man U, and who is number six? Who's that? Whatever Chelsea, I guess, are all in the same boat. They all have a few strengths and many weaknesses. So I don't think Man U are that much worse than Chelsea. I don't think Arsenal are that much better than Chelsea or a Man U. So it's I don't know. I just feel like any of those two or four of those four will finish in the top four.
That's interesting. I think so. There's zero argument that, in spite of losing Sterling, in spite of losing Jesus, in spite of losing Zinchenko, All of them maybe bit part players last year. They were still, they're like, dare I say, world class players. They actually are. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
put Sterling in one of the best players in the league. In spite of losing all of them, there's no doubt that, I think Pep's team is going to finish on top. They might not have that much of a cushion earlier on in the season with Liverpool. I To be honest, like, I don't even know how Liverpool's signings are going to fit in. Losing Mane is going to be huge. Diaz is sort of unproven. Darwin is completely unproven, although the 90 million price tag is some testament to his skill, but maybe not to how well he'll adapt to the season. So I expect Liverpool to finish second. But close third, I'm seriously expecting a big push from the fellow North London rivals in whites. I expect Tottenham to feature very heavily in there if they're able to keep Conte in, intact throughout the season. A few losses I don't think will get him sacked, but a steady run of losses over Champions League, over the Premier League might get him sacked, or he might just lose interest and leave. If that happens, sure, like, I no one can predict what's going to happen to Tottenham, but if Conte stays, I expect them to at least battle for third, if not go up to the second.
I'm
I
seeing
know
this
it's a
hype,
very
but
controversial thing to
it's
say,
not like
so
controversial. I'm seeing a lot of this. I mean, your this opinions on the FPL boards as well, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, we need to get Spurs, guys," and Spurs have a lot of hype. But to me, there's more or less the same team as last year. They are dependent on Kane and Son for attacking output. One of them gets injured, you're completely fucked. And then you've gotten some pieces like a Bisuma and a Perisic, who are probably going to slot in, but a 3 month injury for Kane, which is something that's super likely, derails them completely. An injury for Swan also derails them completely. I don't think that they'll finish so close to the top two.
that's I think it's important to think why. So Kane is probably in the best form, fitness wise. He's leaner, he's faster, the pre-season friendly, he has more hair too, so enough cushioning for his headers going in. But I actually don't think that the signings that they had are subpar or average. Bisuma is can easily be a top four CDM. As a Man U fan, you would know how important the role of a CDM is. So Bisuma is really good. There's Kulusevski, who's obviously second
He was there
season
last
in.
year.
Yeah, he was there
End of
last year,
the
but
year.
second
He's
season
not going to
in,
get that much better this year. He was good last year, and he'll continue to be
and that's
very
fair.
bad.
But then you have Richarlison, as well as a huge upgrade for someone like a Sessegnon on the left with Perisic in. So I think it just gives. So I think what that does to the season is this ability to change formations midway. Five sub rule is going to be really critical. You would
Oh,
know
I
of all
forgot about
people.
that.
You've
Forgot about
written
that
so many
completely, to be honest.
articles.
Oh God, I forgot about that. But yeah, I don't know how much in depth we're wanting to go into this. I know you said you
Go
wanted to
for
keep
it.
it
Go for
simple
it.
and
I mean,
snappy
nimble.
at 20 minutes. But honestly, I don't think I think Richarlison is the same level as Lucas Moura. I don't expect him to score goals. I expect him to be a Conte forward. Keep it tight, run around, close down people. He'll score like 8 goals this season. I don't think any of these guys that you mentioned, and I didn't even say they're subpar, and nobody's doubting Kane at all. I'm just saying that Kane, it is likely that he will get injured. He has gotten injured every single season, I think, for the past 2 or 3 seasons. And I don't think Bissouma and Perisic. I mean, getting a CDM doesn't suddenly make you amazing. It plugs a hole. They arguably already had a very decent player in there in Hoiberg. So, and Perisic is again like 100 years old. So, let's see. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm not buying into this Spurs hype train.
The thing about the five sub rule, I think, which matters more right now is teams will be able to get slightly older players and have them sub in for about 30 or 40 minutes in every game, which gives them just a different outlet. So the fitness and the age matter less. So which is why I suspect that someone like a Perisic is a very shrewd signing, and it breaks the Arsenal mold of, oh, we only want youngsters who can press for all 90 minutes and run around all over the pitch and not having really specialized roles. So I think I think that's one thing that's going to fall in favor of
If
Spurs.
breaking the Arsenal mold is not a good enough reason to finish third, right? Breaking the Arsenal mold means you go from sixth to fifth. Like that's not a formula for success. Anybody can break the Arsenal mold.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But anyway, so I'm obviously a bit biased, but given the signings that Arsenal have had, and a lot of them are of great FPL interest for all Wenger Morghulians, where do you think Arsenal are going to finish, and how are their assets looking to you?
I mean, I told you I enjoyed watching Arsenal last year as well. I do think Arteta has done a superb job, especially considering how much I mocked him and thought it was hilarious how he was trying to play out from the back, and now everybody wants to do it. I think he's done a great job, and I do think that they stand a very good chance of finishing third or fourth. Equally, they might finish fifth or sixth. Even the thing is that is fifth or sixth that bad anymore in the Premier League? So the top two is done; it's gone. I think third to sixth, you don't have to be an incredibly bad team to finish sixth. You could see a very good team finish sixth this season, or even a good team finish sixth last season. So, yeah, maybe it's a bit on how luck plays out, how injuries play out, how this mid-season break plays out. Yeah, so again, I'm going to just stick to any of these two out of four teams will finish third to sixth. Very boring. I know.
Which two out of three teams?
Any two of the four, like Chelsea
Okay.
or Spurs or Arsenal or Manu, I don't think any of them are particularly lock for third or fourth.
I think it's a stretch to say that Manu will finish anywhere in the top four. I think I would say that perhaps they could finish fifth or sixth if they got really lucky, if Chelsea really slip up. But my bold prediction in your spreadsheet is soon going to be Arsenal to close out the top four, Chelsea to finish fifth, Man U maybe clinging on to sixth,
Sure.
because you got to forget. I mean, you got to remember that Europa League is also on the way. So you never know how a brand new team under a brand new manager who's playing in Europa, who's playing in the Premier League, is going to adapt his training mechanisms.
You don't have to like sell me on Manu not being great. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that all the four have weaknesses. I mean, Chelsea have lost their entire defense. Like, how who are they going to replace these guys with? Are they going to come in and gel right away? They don't have a striker who can score goals for the past 2 or 3 years. That's a massive weakness. They were horrendous after December last year. They literally just chilled out for half a season. I don't think they're as good as everybody says they are. But again, I think none of these four teams are as good as everybody says they are. At least in Arsenal's case, I think you can be a little positive because of the age profile of the team, because of the clear improvements in style and and their formation, all of those things that Arteta has brought in. So I'm sure it's going to be a good season for y'all. It's just it's tough to be third or fourth amongst this set of four.
That is true. That is true. I've actually never been this excited about an Arsenal season
It should be.
in the last 15 or 16 years, and I know Viggy and also Shannon agree, because we've been chatting on the side. Actually, as we speak, the brand new season, or the brand new season of All or Nothing just dropped, and I can't wait to watch the first three episodes. These are, remember, this is going to be from last year, so Aubameyang is still in the squad, and so is Lacazette, and interested to see how the dynamic plays out with Arteta, the baby manager Arteta, managing all these Arsenal stalwarts, not really stalwarts, but
I
Aubameyang.
saw some YouTube video of him like doing some whiteboarding kind of flipboarding
I saw
thingy,
that.
and it was so cringe. It's totally what I see you doing in your offsites at your top secret workplace that I may not mention. Is like, hey guys, how would we put out this flipboard today? And I use these pens that are clearly not designed to write on paper, but I will use them on paper so that they make that loud screechy noise. And then I'm going to talk to you about your family, your mission, your vision. How do we pull it all together? Synergize. So cringe, and I could just see the players just like have already zoned out. They're like, fuck this shit. I want to go and Instagram live. I want to go on Tinder. This is a complete waste of my time, but it was hilarious.
I will say that that the 2 minute teaser video was very funny, and so
He
was your
drew like some
impersonation.
family. He drew like a graph, right? He's like,
He
"This is
did.
where I was after the Man City defeat, but my family, my friends, they took me from -5 to positive
Positive.
25, and we all know positive's better than negative."
And somewhere in there, he also talked about mental health and his heart surgery. But regardless, it was cringeworthy. But come on, I mean, you've got to get
Whatever
your
works, right? Whatever works. I
whatever
mean,
works.
many of these players have the IQ of 10-year-olds, right? So whatever works.
Before
Yeah.
people zone out,
Yeah.
there are a few
Too
changes,
late for
right? So
that.
we have 16 people as part of our group. So we're not going to have triple threat this year. We'll only have eight in the top half, eight in the bottom half, and the top eight will be going for the regular prices. The cash prize money is going to be the same. The bottom eight also they
Should
always
we
go for
increase the cash prize money now? Like, I feel like it's
from
like with inflation, like $60 is like the prize money is really poor considering how much time we spend on
and the money is going to come from the money plant that's growing behind you.
it.
Like, where is the money going to come from, dude?
So many rich people on this group. They can
But
support some of us.
I am creating a brand new logo and a brand new image for Wenger Morghulis just as a
Oh,
side
nice.
part-time project.
Could we
So
get
let's
our
see.
t-shirts by in time for a hackathon in California? That
Yes,
would be nice if we could all wear them.
absolutely. I
That
think
would
I think
not be talky at all.
that won't be dorky at all. I don't think I want to. I want to shoot for that timeline only because I
Can we
don't
get
want
like
us.
tank tops? Can we get tank tops this time? Oh, what about that sleeveless hoodie like Bill Belichick? Can we get a sleeveless hoodie? That would be amazing.
Or the Patagonia vest because you're in Silicon Valley, so the
This is
douche.
true, dude. I better
Yeah.
start an installment plan to get a Patagonia vest.
You have to get one of those. But I think it'll be fun. Why don't I aim to have those jerseys ready? Viggy can fly them down. Viggy is also joining us, by the way, in California, so I'm super excited about that.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Um,
Is he
and
bringing Gareth Bale or one of the Adidas? Oh, he can bring Gareth Bale. Bale is chilling out in the US now.
LA, isn't Bale in LA right now?
Same, same.
But he's not with Galaxy. He's with LAFC.
But he's with Adidas. That's what matters.
Yeah, yeah. Adidas, huh?
Adidas.
Yuri's
Adidas.
practicing his American accents.
It's gonna be my
Adidas, Deeds.
Yeah.
Anyway, throughout the season, we'll have plenty of other mini roles, like someone to help out with the stat table, people to join these calls.
Or
Just
host them even. We have great people who can host this shit. Like Nikhil and Gaurang getting together to do a podcast would be box office. Marco and Sham could get together and do like a 7 hour long podcast on just random shit. And yeah, it would be fun. Phil and Gaurang getting together to watch a podcast that nobody wants to listen to. Wow.
Actually, it'd be pretty funny to get Gaurang on too. Did you know Gaurang was a stand-up comedian?
No.
He is, or he was,
I mean, by
pre-pandemic.
design or just generally like people laughing at him? What are we talking
I think by design. I think by design. I'll,
about?
I'll I'll let you ask him that question directly.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
But yeah,
Does he
join the
live in San
community,
Fran?
host a bunch of shows, do a bunch of shit for the group,
Yeah.
post your screenshots, and also do not forget the deadline is in approximately 38 hours, not 15 hours, Yuri. Like, what happened to your math skills?
I thought it was Friday. I was just wishful thinking. It's 23rd Friday.
Anyway, so deadlines in 35, 36, 37 hours. Go look, check your local times and calculate. We're not responsible if you don't make your team, but you will be held responsible if you have a dead team. Please be engaged with the group. I don't think we want any dead teams. I don't think we want people to captain a random goalkeeper because they forgot to change their team. So yeah, make sure everything is locked in. But I think this is just us like saying hello beginning of the season, giving you a flavor of how this adminship is going to work. Yuri is a funny one. Kind of the logistics guy. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
What about, I mean, let's wrap up with like, what are three things that, are keeping you awake now that, the deadline is almost on you? Like, what are you considering? What are you fretting about?
Oh, I think let me flash my
Let's talk
screen.
about the Martial one. I mean, I'm super interested. I'm excited that somebody's breaking the template.
So so this is my team currently. It's very likely going to change, but I think there were few key decisions. I know Jesus is going to surprise a bunch of people. In fact, I think someone also posted that 72% of all FPL teams own Jesus. So I don't think it's going to be a surprise of how well he would
Here's my
do.
question on Jesus, and it is something that I am fretting about as well because I don't have him in my draft right now, even though I've seen all his performances. Crystal Palace away is a tough game. I think Vieira always gives you all a tough game. Crystal Palace is a tough place to visit, and then the second match isn't easy as well, right? I don't remember who you're playing, but it's not an easy game. Where
I
are
think
we?
I
Yeah.
did
Are you
remember
worried
that
at
the
all?
first
Are you
four.
worried at all that he's one of those guys who does really well in preseason and then proceeds to go on a 3 game drought?
I am. I am extremely worried about that. But I think also think about it this way. For the first 5 or 6 matches that Arsenal play, I expect Arsenal to score at least 8 to 9 games because I know we're playing two relegation teams. We're playing Crystal Palace. And by the way, Crystal Palace, by his own admission, by Vieira's own admission, they're not ready for the season. They had a terrible preseason. They've lost Gallagher. Zaha wasn't fully fit. I think they had a couple of outgoings as well. So they are going to be a bit rocky. Definitely rocky in midfield, where Arsenal have strengthened a lot. So I do expect Arsenal not to lose, but at the same time, I don't know if they'll win or not because it's like traditional Arsenal. But in the first 5 or 6 games, I expect Arsenal to score about 7 or 8 goals. And I cannot see how Jesus is not going to be involved in at least 30 to 40% of those goals. He's going to start all games. He's probably going to play 80 minutes minimum all games. So if he's going to start, he's going to be involved in at least 4 or 5, either by scoring or via assists, and that also brings in bonus points. And for someone to be involved with 4 to 5 goals, he costs $8.5 million. It's a no-brainer.
Fair. Tell me
Um,
more about the Martial and the Grealish picks because those are
so
interesting. I have a
Martial
feeling that
has
we will not see these when the actual teams go live. You will have replaced Grealish with somebody fucking boring, like, I don't know, Diaz or something, and then you'll have replaced Martial. I don't know. There's nobody really in that price brackets. I don't know who you would get in, but I
So I
have a
think
feeling you.
Martial is going to be on the chopping block. I purely got him in from a narrative standpoint. ETH has been talking him up. It's likely that Ronaldo won't start, which means Martial is the only number 9. And you all have decent fixtures. Brighton at home is going to be a tricky fixture. I actually fully expect you to either draw that game or
Me
lose
too.
it.
I
Uh,
100% expect that. And then it's away to Brentford, another extremely tricky game. We have dropped points there last year, and then we go to home to Liverpool. Like it's a tough start.
So I was he's probably on the chopping block, but the reason I have him in is
Yeah,
because he's going to play as number 9. He's really cheap. The one guy I'm really hesitant to get rid of is Grealish. I watched at least 2 preseason game extended highlights. He was involved in every single move that City had. The one worry is he was playing too far down the left because Haaland was occupying the center role. I I'm hoping that he'll play more of a Foden role rather than a Sterling role, which would suit him better. So I'm 50-50 on Grealish, but given the price, I'm sticking to him. And also, he's a very easy downgrade to someone like a Rashford or a quick upgrade to a Saka if one of those two perform well.
yeah. No, I like the looks of Grealish. This year was the same Pep roulette, right? Which I find particularly frustrating, especially because I don't care about purity. I care about winning that week's game. And so, yeah, I don't want to get on it. So I don't have KDB and I don't have Grealish. In fact, I don't have any City midfielders at this point.
In the next 2 minutes, very quickly, I know we don't have your team up here, but
Yeah.
what are 3 to 4 players that are 50
That
50s
are
for you right
stressing
now?
me out.
Yep.
Right now, my draft is probably different than all of you guys, where I have Haaland and Kane in my draft, meaning that I have a very weak midfield, and that is stressful. We don't know how Haaland is going to fit. I think over the season he's going to score 30 goals, but we don't know how he's going to start,
30
and
goals.
that's
No, he's not going to score 30 goals, is he?
all competitions. Yeah, I think he will. I
Which
mean, just I mean, Sterling would score 20 after missing 20 as well. And this guy's an actual striker, right? So I think he will. I think just that's just the quality of chance creation at City and how good a player he is, he will. But I have a feeling, it'll take him a bit of time to at least get started. But I still want to keep him. I also want to play this for fun, right? I don't want to be boring. So I have Kane and Haaland up front. I'm worried about Martinelli. I feel like he's the kind of guy who gets substituted first at 60 minutes when things aren't quite going well. So I'm not, again, buying into that hype to that extent. I have Rashford in there. I have three guys who I'm really stressed about: Neto, Rashford, Martinelli. Rashford, I've seen him in preseason. He's looked very isolated on the left. He's really not looked all that good. I'm sure he's going to score a goal here and there, but I don't think he's consistently going to deliver the goods. And so at that price point, this is all that's there. And if I need to upgrade on those, I need to downgrade a Haaland or a Kane. And so that's the, I guess, balance that I'm thinking about.
The
The
one, the one,
defense is the same. Is literally, I think, the same as yours or everybody else. They're all the same usual suspects in defense and goalkeeper.
one very quick closing thought. I do like that a double pivot up front. I think it's going to steal a bunch of your money. Forwards are known to not be the best value for return, but also I think like thinking about formation and how easy is it to switch in and out of the formation is probably going to be key. Anyway, I know we all
It's an
have to
easy
rush.
downgrade. That's what I thought was that as if Jesus blanks in Crystal Palace but plays well, it's and Haaland blanks, I can downgrade Haaland to Jesus in week 2, and I can always easily upgrade the midfield choice to Diaz or something like that. So I'm not super worried about it. Anyways, I think it's wild card at week 5, right? It's happened every single year that I start off badly and get a wild card. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
On that note, good luck everyone. Join the league. Make sure your teams are all set, and yeah, like welcoming myself as a co-admin of Wenger Morghulis 2022-2023. See you more.
Good
All right.
job, Vikas.
Good job, Yuri. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Nobody else
right.
is going to say this. We need to say this to each other.
I know. We'll get exactly 2 views on this video,
Yeah.
especially
5
30
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya,
See you. Bye
Yuri.
bye.